Hello viewers, welcome to my program. My name is Esteban Mendoza and I'm so excited to tell them our special guest that we have today. He's a recognized sociology and philosopher who has dedicated his life to investigate subjects such as the culture, the power, the consume, structuralism, art and education, only to mention some of them. In this interview, we are going to focus in education due to this video has an academic goal and because we think that Bourdieu is an expert in the matter. How are you, Mr. Bordieu? We are very happy to have you here. Furthermore, I'm sure that some academic students will get interested in listening your point of view about education. So, are you ready to begin? Hello Esteban, I'm happy to be here and I appreciate the invitation. I will do my best to create a reflecting education which could be a large subject, but I will attempt to sum up the ideas. So about your question, I'm so ready to begin. I'm glad to hear that. So if you allow me, let's start the interview with the first question that I have prepared. What do you think that education is upon your point of view? Okay, we are beginning good. I think that is complex and a wide subject. Beyond to think that education is the biggest shape of knowledge that it is, it have, in a structural way of think, a state of inequality that is keeping in the time with different strategies for hide this imbalance that I name symbolic violence. So in my opinion, education is a power that all the people must have as a life right. Thus, it's important keep our society learning, but without leave the social class determine the quality of life. So we can't talk about education if we don't keep in mind the structural conditions that determine our social progress and our success. That's startling. I agree that it's important pointing out that we don't live in egalitarian conditions. So let's carry on with the next question. Which could be an ideal model of education for you? Okay, I will begin saying that the best model is when the person infers the knowledge with learning by searching. This means that doesn't exist either domination or training. Therefore, students need to create their own way of think with the experience that they have lived with learning incentives. On the whole, the person that is learning needs to be free and feel free to create new knowledge paths. Okay, I remember learning that in university. It makes me think about constructivist theory. That's interesting. Okay, let's continue with the next question because we have a little bit time. Which could be the ideal relation between education and politics? Okay, in my opinion, the problem is structural. The state should equalize disparities that there are between social classes. That's so important. How? Regulating the education system with the scholarships, minimize the differences among schools, the privatized knowledge and schools are some examples to expand the educative practice. Thus, the people need to fight against dominant class and begin to request better options to be educated with the same conditions to reach success. So in my opinion, the best relation is that the government should leave the knowledge free with values, providing all necessary tools to reach it in the same conditions. That's so important. Okay, so with that, you will say that it's possible to change educational inequality? Yes, nevertheless, we need to change radically but the educational system and the meanings that direct knowledge. Our society need to be aware of consequences that create the free market without any government intervention. Also, they need to regulate education providing public policies and teaching how to get out to the habitus as a way to build knowledge with personal experience without lose our class consciousness. That's the key, and it's so important if we want to change the reality. Okay, with that, I think that our audience already know how they can get a better educational conditions since structural changes. Okay, to conclude the interview, I'm going to make my last question. Do you look at a better educational conditions in the future? I think that we have made progress depending which country we talk about. Even so, to be concrete and don't repeat the speech, we are living as some kind of stagnation in education and knowledge. Consequently, we need to build a critical thinking about the history to be aware of conditions to enhance our social system in different aspects. The people need to take advantage of all the things that they have in favor via adequate information. To sum up, we have work to do as a society. We don't dimension the power that we have. So perfect. I hope your words be captured for our audience. I'm so glad we have your presence today. It has been a pleasure have your point of view here. I like being here. I feel comfortable. It's like if I could say anything without pressure and without filter. It seems that your program has a critic mind, so I like that. Thank you very much for your invitation and see you then. No, thank you for you, Mr. Bordieu, for your time to come and for your time to answer all the questions. See you later, viewers. This was an interview with who I consider one of the most important fathers of sociology. See you in the next set.